coming to the most important phase of the show, which has been the auction strategy for the upcoming auction, which is the mini auction. Varun, first things first, what was the thought process of retaining Heinrich Klaasen, who has already announced his retirement from international cricket, but his price tag is huge? Do you
Yeah.
expect him to deliver the way we all term him as a six-hitting monster?
I think more than expecting him to perform for the Sunrisers, if he was released into the auction, it's all about supply and demand because there are literally not actually no great wicket keepers that have already performed in the IPL. Now you have KKR who has like 64 plus crores. You have CSK have 40 plus crores, and they were looking for a wicket keeper until Samson went into CSK. But they still CSK might still be looking for the middle order batsman who's a good spin hitter. And now Chennai has also changed their pitches. They're changing their ground to a more batting friendly surface. So the Klaasen might really help there. And KKR, they released all their three wicket keepers. Klaasen with the 64 crores that they have, he would go for, in my opinion, maybe not 23, but somewhere between 20 and 21. And that's still a huge risk for the Sunrisers if released. So I think it's more about supply and demand, and that's why we did retain him. And of course, he
Okay.
brings a brand value.
Once Henry Klaasen is set in someday, he will definitely hit the ball out of different parts of the ground. But similarly, when you talk about Henry Klaasen, you need to talk about the other players around him. And we have spoken about the top five of Sunrisers Hyderabad, especially because they have some destructiveness amongst themselves. Any news flooding behind the scenes of Ishan Kishan probably heading back to his former franchisee?
This Mumbai Indians, they have reached out to the Sunrisers back in July, right? Mumbai Indians wanted Ishan Kishan. They wanted. My presumption is that since Rohit Sharma isn't gonna be with the Mumbai Indians for a long time now, after 2027, there's a mega auction, and I'm expecting him to make a leave from the Mumbai Indians, and I think that's where Ishan Kishan plays a big role as a wicket keeper and as an opener. I think that's why they did request for him, but yeah, the request did go through. But I don't think the Sunrise were really interested in giving him away. He is the future prospect for us as a wicket keeper as well. So there was no interest. But another trade has also come in from the Mumbai Indians. I think it was for Rahul Chahar. And then as
Okay.
Sunrisers have requested Corbin Bosch, Bosch said he did not want
No.
to leave the Mumbai Indians, so that didn't happen.
That's interesting. But boss for Rahul Shah would have been. But I certainly think if we talk about leg spinners, Ravi Vishnu is there in the market for you.
Yeah. Now the main question is, I think since the start of 2024, Hyderabad tracks have really changed, right? And now I think before the years of 2023, you can say, right, leg spin had the most wickets and the least economy possible, other than
Correct.
medium fast bowlers. And
Correct.
now leg spinners have the worst economy and the least wickets since 2024, and that's where the problem lies. Even now, Ravi Bishnoi, he hasn't been in form for the last two seasons,
Hmm.
and where he really suits is Lucknow, and he has not been performing at Lucknow. So that makes a huge question, saying how will he do at Hyderabad? Because what I've seen is he bowls one line, one length, a good length. He's like a medium fast bowler. He bowls
Yeah.
those googlies, but it doesn't really spin. He provides some good pace at the stumps, but he really doesn't get those wickets anymore. If he does come to Hyderabad ground, I feel that he's gonna get smacked. So personally, I don't want to see Ravi Bishnoi in the Sunrisers
But
because
if you
the
have a
top
little bit of overseas, if I'm talking about you have a Klaasen and a Pat Cummings who are certain, and then even a Travis Head who are certain
yeah.
in the 11, at once you had to go for somebody like a Wanindu Hasaranga. You had them, but you once again have an opportunity, if possible, to go for Wanindu Hasaranga who is available in the market. Glenn Maxwell is available in the market. Are you thinking about these players?
So Sunrisers, they are in the market for a leggy, but while I say they are in the market, they want a leggy, but they don't need a leggy because now since 2022, their main
Why
approach
so?
has been
Yeah.
going with four paces, right? And especially under these Hyderabad conditions where you play 7 games, where spin doesn't really work out. I think Harsh Dubey will be your main spinner, and then you got Pat
Wow.
Cummins, Harshal Patel, Jaydev Unadkat, and maybe Isha Malinga or another pacer from the Indian setup, right?
So you're
So
saying a second spinner probably will be Abhishek Sharma?
Abhishek Sharma is a part timer. If he does
Yeah.
want to chip in, he might bowl, a couple overs, 2 overs if required. But if you move to somewhere where the tracks are a bit more slower, since whenever the Sunrisers do go to an away venue, that's what they're trying to do. That's maybe where you get in someone like a Kamindo or a Zishan Ansari to help out Harsh Dubey.
So you're saying with the amount you're entering towards, your prime focus is not a spinner.
The so firstly, the budget that we have right now, and the Sunrisers, they are targeting two overseas all-rounders is what I heard. So the budget might go more towards them, and the rest of the budget, as I said, Varun Aaron is targeting a lot of domestic bowlers. The rest of the budget will go towards them rather
Okay.
than needing a leg spinner. As I said, we want one, but we don't need one.
Okay, a couple of all rounders, overseas all rounders probably. One hot topic, hot player in the market from Australia is coming back. Cameron Green, is he in your list? Because we are certainly sure that KKR will dictate terms in the auction table because of the amount they are entering towards. Is Rachin Ravindra in your list by any chance?
First, we're talking about Cameron Green. I think he will be in every fan's wish list, even if they have a place for him in the team or not. But KKR having 64, CSK having 40 plus, that's not going to happen. Right? He's going to go for 20 plus. We don't have the sufficient funds for him. And going on to Rachin Ravindra, I don't see him as a T20 player. Right? I don't even think New
And
Zealand
you're
really
not the only
considers.
one who said this.
Yeah, and I don't think New Zealand as well consider him as a T20 player, more of a ODI and Test player. But for New Zealand, on a regular basis, he plays at the number 6 and 7. The last series I've seen, he has played at 3, and he did not perform whatsoever. All right, so I really don't think he has that
Mhm.
capability of first for playing in India. If he is not performing for New Zealand at number 3, what's to say that he's going to perform in an IPL at number 3? Right, so trust issues lie there, and also performance issues lie there. It's not the
Okay,
longer
that is absolutely fair enough. But if you talk about the top three, because of the way you said of last season, where there was a little bit chopping changes of class in a three, lower down the order, if an Ishan Kishan, what could be the possibly role for a somebody like a Nitish Kumar Reddy, who unfortunately doesn't have a role in the Indian side. Not sure what is his role as an all rounder. But are you seeing Nitish Kumar Reddy as a pure all rounder, or a batsman who can bowl, or a bowler who can bat? What is that process?
the Sunrisers might look at him to play at number 6 and number 7 again, since you also have to look at his future with the cricket side, and personally his future as well, because now Indian cricket, Gautam Gambhir, they are starting him at 6 and 7, either in ODIs or in T20s or in Test games as well. So that's what his future lies. It's not in number 4. There's too much competition at number 4 for him, even in the Sunrisers. I don't think we're gonna use him as a complete finisher, but that's where like a Heinrich Klaasen and Aniket Verma do come in. But I do think Nitish Kumar Reddy, he will be a batting all rounder. He might bowl a couple of overs if needed, like Abhishek
Okay.
Sharma, as I said.
Okay, so Nitish Kumar Reddy will be a batting all rounder. So who's your number three and four then? Is it Klaasen at three, Ishan at four? Who is your person who will have the gloves as well behind this time? This is Ishan Kishan.
So my top 7 right now, I'll just say it like this because it can change anytime, right? It's Travis said, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Aniket Verma, Heinrich Klaasen, um, Nitish Kumar Reddy, and Aniket Verma. That's my top 7 right now. And where this change might come is if Abhishek Sharma and Travis Sheikh really performs in the first 6 or 7 overs, right? If they score probably about 90 or 100, 110 in those first 7 overs, that's where Heinrich Klaasen comes at number 3. So it can keep up that tempo, right? Ishan
It's
Kishan, he takes
basically
tempo.
about the situation of the game.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so you're purely going towards the experience. The core needs to be kept in the side. A little bit of Varun Aaron adding a little bit of domestic flair, but you're also focusing a couple of all rounders. You have plenty of all rounders in the Sunrises in the auction table. You can go for, and few bargain buys I'm expecting from teams that have 20, 25 around budget moving into the auction table. But what about the potential 11 at the moment with the retained players Sunrises Hyderabad have? And I want to hear a thought as well. I have gone is what this looks like on your screen, Varun. Travis said and Abhishek Sharma are my openers. Ishan Kishan at number 3, Nitish Kumar Reddy at 4, Henry Klaasen at 5, Aniket Verma at number 6. There's nobody at the moment in my number 7 slot. I think that's where another all rounder might probably come in. Pat Cummings at 8, 9, 10, 11 once again remains vacant. What is your thought process with that?
Let's go to the bowling first of all. What you said, Pat Cummins is the only bowler you have right now. Is that right?
Correct.
That's where I think Harshal Patel, Jaydev Unadkat, and Harsh Dubey really fill things up.
So
Right?
are
It's
they starters?
they're
Are
starters for
Harshit
me.
Patel and Ajay Devunatkat starters for
Yeah,
you?
they're starters for me any day. Because after seeing what they did last season on the same tracks which were produced in 24 and for 25, Jaydev Unadkat has been an extraordinary performer. He's been so consistent for us in these last 2 years. His slower cutters really do work on this surface, and I don't see why we need to keep him as a backup for someone else, right? And you said Travis said Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Nitish Reddy, Heinrich Klaasen, Aniket Verma, and you're missing a number seven there, right? I
Correct.
think so. From what I've heard as well, Ravichandran Smaran has been rated very highly from the Sunrisers management,
Okay.
right? He usually does play at 5, 6, 7 for Karnataka right now, so maybe
Oh,
that's where he might slot in as well. He might be an impact player for me. Only issue is he's not an all rounder. I do want an all rounder in that number seven slot. But if a problem does arise, Ravichandran Smaran is always there for us.
so at the moment you have a Travis said, Henrik Klassen, Cummings, and
Yeah,
you still have 3 to 4 slots to fill,
yeah.
which only with only one overseas. So you need to be mindful of that. So where is you're saying an Harshal Patel and Unatkat comes into your bowling department, so which means you're left with one bowler probably, which is a spinner, I'm assuming, and the other is an all-rounder. Is Harsh Dubey your all-rounder, and you're going for a fast bowler, which is an overseas one, or is Harsh Dubey your impact if you're bowling second with an overseas all-rounder in that number seven slot? Your thought
Now,
process?
Harsh Dubey won't be my impact player. I think if the batting lineup does collapse, Harsh Dubey is someone who can really keep that game going alive. He's pretty young. We haven't seen much of him, but from what I've seen in domestic cricket and the going on India A games as well, he's been very basically he himself can save games with the kind of strike rate and the kind of strokes that he
Okay.
plays down the ground. So I think I trust him very well in the batting setup as well. But I do see maybe a overseas player coming in as an impact player.
Okay, overseas players an impact player. Playing 11 has overseas players according to you. That's interesting, but we have not. No, that's not the first time we are seeing an IPL side do that. First, honest predictions. Your thought, your rating out of 10 so far with the retained players you have picked up. Have you made the right choices? What is your score?
Just release most of our backups and the players that we haven't really used, right? Other than Mohammad Shami for was 6 or 7 games. I personally I would just give this retention at 7.5, based on last year's squad, what kind of strengths we have and what we do actually need to fill now. I do feel like Bryden Cast wasn't a necessary retention because
Mm,
first of all, he's not a consistent performer for England. He's not getting enough game time for England as well. I think every year as well he gets injured, and
correct.
he's a walking patient basically. And I don't
Absolutely. And
think
that's where people
yeah.
say in IPL never trust English players because they can opt out anytime soon. And that's
I
exactly
don't think
what you're
I'm not
suffering.
gonna say that reason, but he's very injury prone. That's the only cause for me. Yeah. And I
Okay,
think
jokes apart.
with the side having Jaydev Unadkat, Harshal Patel, Bryden Cast, Pat Cummins, these guys are all injury prone. Even Ishan Malinga is. So when your whole bowling lineup is very injury prone, that's a huge problem, right? So that's
Absolutely. But if you need a bowling specialist, you probably have a Matisha Patirana in the market. Maybe you might go for him as well. But I think your pace attack is more or less sorted. You're giving a 7 out of 10 for the Sunrisers.